So it's been 6 months since the Canadian election, and has things gotten better? Because when we look at the facts, I mean, has how much time has Mark Carney actually spent in Canada? Because I always hear him about Mark Carney just jet setting to wherever country, but what about Canada? What about building Canada up? Because I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen like, oh, suddenly we have all these plants opening, and our economy is growing, and like 6 months is a long time. For me, it would just be like it would be easy. I'd just be like I would just work every single day. I wouldn't have a summer vacation like they did. All the politicians just went on a nice summer vacation while Canadians just suffer more and more. A lot because of mass immigration and every other harmful policy that's been passed in the last so many years. What bothers me is that these people who voted for the Liberal Party of Canada did so because of Trump. They said Trump, because Polyev is Trump like. But then, if you look at who Trump endorsed, it was Mark Carney. And why is that? Oh, it was just a, he was just trying to, he was just trying to, try to deceive us or something. No, no, he was not. Because, Mark Carney is gonna continue our path to the destruction of our country. And then we will happily accept becoming the 51st state, because if we don't, we will have millions of deaths because of starvation and whatever else. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the plan. Because why else would Trump keep making 51st state comments, and then he endorses someone? And he also, on election day, he made another post saying, "Oh, it'd be great to make the 51st state," and that really rubbed me the wrong way, because before that I was actually wearing a "Make Canada for 51st State," just kind of as like a haha, because I mean I was like, well, maybe it'd be good, I'd rather that, but after that I was kind of I started to think about it more, and I'm like, yeah, actually I don't really, I really don't want that, because it's just another corrupt system. Like, Canada could be so much better. It's so clear to me, but the people who voted for Mark Carney voted because they're like, oh, we don't want to be the 51st state, and they're saying elbows up, and they're saying, they're having all these things. We will never be the 51st state. Are you sure about that? Because where we're heading, it's going to be the only solution, because our country is going to be nothing. You're not going to be able to afford anything. You're not going to be able to do anything. So you're just going to be like, well, what do we do? And then the U.S. is going to be like, well, I guess we'll just we'll take you over then. Like, either they'll just take us over by force, or they'll just, we'll accept it. We'll be like, oh, thank you so much for helping us, because we're not going to be able to feed ourselves. We're going to be dying in the streets of starvation and killing each other for food. So Trump or whoever's in power at that time will come in and be like, oh, well, we'll help you, and they'll bring in supplies, and we think, oh, thank you, and then on the back end, they'll just, they'll talk to whatever prime minister we have, and then they'll just be like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna make you the 51st state, and because it's the only way to fix our economy, or some bullshit, like that's just the plan, I'm pretty sure. But even the Conservative Party, I don't think they're good enough to get us out of this mess. I feel like we need a serious change on every single front, just completely, almost just destroy everything and start from scratch. Like, I just think that would almost be better, because if it goes the way we're some people are predicting, inflation is going to be 100%. The same thing that you buy today in a year from now is going to be 100% of the price, meaning double. So you're going to be paying double for the amount that you bought before, and that's like, how do you sustain that? If it just keeps doing that, then that's you're not going to be able to afford food. You're not going to be able to afford as much food. And if, it's impossible to get a job because all the immigrants took them, then How are people going to even have any money? How are people going to eat any food? That this is where Canada is going. This is where a lot of the West is going. Like something needs to change. Something more people need to understand that there's a lot more happening behind the scenes than you think there is. And it's not just clear as day like, oh, Marc Carney's the savior, or Pierre Polyev is the savior, or whatever. I mean, but if you thought Polyev was going to be the one to make us the 51st state, you're totally wrong. When has Mark Carney said elbows up since the election? Since election night. I haven't seen him say that phrase a single time. This country is a fail state. I have ways to fix it. Like I wouldn't take a day off. I would just go to work. I would just like I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, I'd use whatever powers that I could to keep Parliament going if that is how to actually fix the country, is to just keep Parliament going. I would just say, yep, you know what? No, we're staying here. We're staying here until we fix the country. Like that's it. I'm like I wouldn't take I would say like, no, we're all gonna have sleeping bags. We're gonna stay here until it's fixed. Like I don't care. The people can bring us food and everything else. We can take a break to go shower and come back and stuff like that. But no, we're gonna stay here until this country is fixed. Like these people make 200,000 a year and more and more and more, and they don't fucking do anything. They don't represent me. I send my member of parliament emails. I tell them that the immigrants are taking the jobs and I can't find work because of it. That I've been turned down from jobs because of the immigrants being here. And he says, "Oh, that's not true." Or, I struggled finding work too at one point. I'm like, "Okay." And he says, "Oh, just, try to broaden your search. You might have to move to get work." I'm like, "I've already done that. I already moved across the country 6, 7 years ago because I couldn't find work where I was. So I moved. Do I just have to keep moving everywhere until the immigrants move to every single city and every little town that you can't find work anywhere? Do I just have to keep moving and hoping, oh, maybe they won't move here? Okay. Maybe they're not here yet. Okay. Okay. I'll move to that other part of the country. Okay. And until I can't fucking work at all, until they've taken over every single job, and they've taken everything. Is that the plan? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Or can we just send the immigrants home and then we can figure it out? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that would take these jobs that were born in Canada. I'm pretty sure a lot of them would take those jobs instead of these people who just came here. And they are given incentives, and they're the people that are higher up. They're the managers. So of course they're going to keep hiring their own. They're going to hire their Singh brother from fucking Mumbai, Pakistan, fucking wherever. So it just drives me friggin' like, this country is just gone to the shitter. There's nothing I can do, and I'm trying. Like I don't know what the plan is. I want to, like, I have like an easy plan, but it's like how do I get to that point where I can implement that plan? How is that even achievable without a substantial financial backing? Anyways, I just wanted to rant a bit. That's it.